Good morning, everyone. So, we are here today to learn about weight management and diet. So, though, we are using in our office, we are using GLP-1 medications, agonists to help to lose weight. But again, these medicines are for short term, and again I'm allowing to use this, or I'm trusting these medicines is because the studies have shown that they have a good, not only they have patients have lost weight, their diabetes was controlled, and also they had a very good cardiovascular outcome, positive cardiovascular outcome in patients with heart failure, patients with high blood pressure. And that is why we are doing this program, weight loss program. So, but today's presentation is more on the diet, because even though medications are there, but you cannot stay on them for rest of your life. Agreed, like if you're diabetic, or you have other reasons to take these medicines, that's a different story. But only for weight loss, it should be used, in a short term. And then you should get on to the diet changes that should, you know help you to continue the weight loss or maintaining your weight for the rest of your life. And as again, as I keep talking to my patients, I have a, every day I hear this, I talk to my patients, and I deal with AFib has, we see so many patients with AFib, and one of the big reasons is the weight. And weight, and I agree, some of them is family history, but one of the big reason is the weight. And when I talk to my patients, they have this negative, look out for this, they have negative image of themselves, because they're overweight. Most of the time when they go to see their providers or other physicians, they tell them, okay, you need to lose weight. Sometimes it can be taken negatively, or you can build a negative body image, and that takes into negative cycle, and you start not liking yourself. And then that doesn't really help in losing weight. Then you go home and, because you're feeling low, now you're going to eat again, you're going to binge eat, or that will make you feel happy and transiently, and you want to run away from this, not feeling good. And that is not just one or two of you, all of us go through that. Even I go through that. If I have a difficult day, easy, a candy or a chocolate helps me to move, back again. That is because food is a pleasure, and also food is something, it's a comfort. So I don't want to tell my patients go home and lose weight, but at the same time we have to go down to the root cause. We all feel food is a pleasure. Do you agree with me? I mean, when we take away the food part from your life, or just tell you eat this every day and you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose interest, and it is not going to be fun. For maybe you will adhere to that for a month, then you will like lose track and then go back. And if you look at all the cultures, like I'm from India, in Italians or any culture, you go to others' house, you get food. Even wherever parties, you food. You celebrate, it's food. Food is the main thing, a very important factor of all the cultures, not just my culture, it's all the culture. I know my mom just keeps feeding everybody. That's the way to show affection. So, but then at the same time, we are putting in people's head weight gain, negativity, bad, negative self-image, not liking yourself. Again, how do you like, it doesn't make sense. In one hand, your mom wants you to eat, and that's like a comfort, she's making you feel good by making good food and elevating your mood. But and whoever comes to show their affection, but at the same time, on the other hand, you have this negative image about food. And I mean, that's not right. I mean, you have to enjoy food, and at the same time you have to learn what is the best way to eat and what is the best way to enjoy food. So I want the first thing, you guys, I feel my message to you all is take that negative image from your mind that you're overweight, I don't look good, everybody looks at me like this. That negativity actually does not help to lose weight. We all are given this body, we have to love ourselves and take care of ourselves and take care of the body. So again, by doing that, you're doing what is the right thing to do, and you enjoy food, and food does not become like your enemy, at the same time a comfort. It's like a conflict, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense. So you hear all this, and your physicians or somebody will tell you you need to lose weight, and you go home and you eat more food for comfort because you're not feeling good. So it shouldn't be like that. So what I always feel like, it's just not right. You want to go home and eat a good meal, and that should provide nutrition to your body and mind, and so that you can carry on your daily life and stay healthy and not have all these cardiovascular issues, diabetes, and other issues, mental health, all the issues. Does that make sense? So one hand we are saying lose weight and giving negative body image and negative image about food, and the other hand it's a comfort and it's a pleasure. So we have to combine these things in a way that you are enjoying the food also, not have this negative image about food in the body. Okay, so this is about me. Um, so disclaimer, again, I am not a dietitian, trained dietitian. I'm a cardiologist and electrophysiologist. I deal more with the cardiovascular system and not is it not other system like diabetes, not endocrine system, or I don't deal with nephrology, like I don't deal with your kidney issues and all. So your physicians have specific instructions for you. I'm not trying to tell you follow what I say. I'm just trying to explain you what you can do, a broad way, in a general way, to keep yourself healthy and at the same time lose weight and or not gain excessive weight. So keep in mind, I'm not a dietitian. I'm just giving you a path or showing you a direction where you can then start finding your own way. Okay? And again, based on what my presentation, do not stop following your physicians or your specialist instructions. Okay? So, okay, so obesity is a major health concern. Over 42% of the US adults are classified as obese. I feel it's more than 42%, but it seems, as per the data in 2023, it's 42% the US adults are obese, classified as obese. So again, it's a lot of us, so it is not just one of us or two of us issue, it's issue for all of us. And obesity increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, certain cancers, and sleep apnea. Okay, and also it's always like one leads to the other and the other leads to the third thing. Diabetes increases your risk for CAD, coronary artery disease, stroke, like that. One leads to the other, and you have sleep apnea. Sleep apnea makes your AFib worse, and high weight makes you have high blood pressure. High blood pressure, again, is the main cause of AFib in this country. So one leads to the other. It's just like a vicious cycle. There are a lot of the times I tell my patient, when I tell you you need to do this, but when you think about it, in your mind, one thing is the main thing is the weight loss. Once you do weight loss, other things come into, again, they all fall in place. If you lose weight, then you can be more active also, and that also helps with your blood pressure, that helps with your diabetes, everything is all connected. So the weight, one thing can change so many things in other systems like cardiovascular system, endocrine system, everything. So it is a big issue that we are addressing, and A lot of us have that, including myself. And cardiovascular implication, excess weight contributes to AFib, left ventricular hypertrophy, increased sympathetic activity, as I mentioned that, and obesity is an independent risk factor for sudden cardiac death. Like, people could just die in their sleep from, it's called sudden cardiac death. Okay. So why losing weight gets harder after 40? So that has been my challenge. And before I could lose weight, I went on training forever. They is a joke because of our lifestyle during residency and fellowship. They say you will gain 10 pounds every year. Like, imagine we go on training for after medical school 9-10 years. Imagine if I gain 10 pounds every year. So I was afraid. So I used to gain and I used to lose. I tried to lose that 10 pounds every year. So I kept doing it and I was okay. But then a time came, it was getting harder. So now we're, why losing weight is harder after 40 is because slower metabolism or metabolic, basal metabolic rate naturally decreases with age, and the body burns fewer calories at rest than did in 20 to 20 or 30 years, because we lose muscle mass too. That's the next part. We lose muscle mass. The muscle makes you lose calories, burn calories, even when you're not doing anything. So when you have lesser muscle mass, then you are going to like lose less calories when you're at rest. So, and loss of muscle mass after 30, adult lose 3 to 8% of the muscle mass per decade. So it keeps decreasing and less muscle mass, and you're going to keep gaining weight. That muscle will get replaced with the fat. Okay, and less muscle, fewer calories burned even during activity or even and rest. Hormone shift. In women, estrogen decline during perimenopause and menopause. That increases fat storage, especially in the abdominal area. And in men, gradual testosterone decline in reduces the muscle and increase fat. The same thing. Both genders have to deal with the similar issues. Okay, and sleep and stress. Aging often affects sleep quality, that has a big thing to do. And stress, poor sleep and chronic stress raise cortisol level, more craving for fat, more craving, you'll eat bad food. And, when you're stressed, body releases, stress hormones or steroids that makes you, gain weight and fat storage. Long standing habits, like people have these habits for a long time, it's hard to change. Like sleeping habits or lifestyle patterns are more ingrained, or culture, sometimes we're used to certain things and we don't change, and harder to break routines and make sustained dietary changes. So it's hard. I mean, it is hard, like across. It's not just for one person, it's for everybody. And because we all go through this, it's not just one person. So weight loss is still possible after 40. It is just a smarter and more personalized approach. You have to take that, personalized approach. You have to know what is your issue, what is your weak point, what is, what you're going to do. And also, as you grow, as we get old, people, you have to understand our body needs less calories, less food. Body metabolism changes. We have to eat less. But I don't see that change in people. We don't realize that. We get used to eating certain amount and we keep eating that amount. You have to understand, you have to reduce the consumption. And same thing as we age, I keep telling my you know cardiac patients that the body starts retaining salt. And as we age, when you're younger, body has a, get rid of salt, they can eat salt. The college kids can eat salt and be okay next day. But after 40, you start retaining salt, and then that comes with a lot of fluid, increases your blood pressure. So body gets more sensitive to. So as we age, you have to change your diet. You cannot be the same as in your 20s and 30s. If you don't change, then you're going to have to deal with the consequences of your diet. um, So I'm going to talk very briefly about this because we are doing the weight loss program with GLP-1 drugs. Um, and these, that is glucagon like peptide 1 receptor agonist. We use semaglutides and tirzepatides. So these mimic GLP-1 released in the gut. It's a natural hormone released when, after eating. So the job of this peptide is to increase insulin release, increase from the pancreas, and that makes reduce your sugar. And it is naturally released in the body, but and also it reduces the glucagon secretion, and glucagon actually increases the sugar levels. But GLP-1 drugs reduces by because it reduces the glucagon secretion and slows down gastric emptying. So that means the food doesn't get emptied faster. Okay, and then then you feel full, so you don't feel like eating more. So your overall eating, the amount reduces, and that helps in losing weight. And the other thing is it affects appetite, reduces appetite and promotes the feeling of satiety. That means you're full, you're content. So this is the same peptide that's released in the body. So we are giving you the same medication, to weight loss. But again, you can do this, the same, all these things by changing your diet, by increasing fiber. You will feel full, and you don't have to eat in large quantity if you eat large amount of fiber. So the same things can be achieved by changing diet in a more natural way. Okay, but this is more like a head start. You can head start, and you feel, you start losing weight, and then your basic metabolic rate increases, you start moving around. So that helps, and then you go on to do your own lifestyle changes, diet changes. We do have some people that are enrolled in our program. They are doing good in terms of medication, they're coming, taking the medicine, but we are not seeing much of a diet change, which is also essential. Just not weight loss program is not will not be successful just by taking medicine. You also have to change your diet. It's just initially to help you to get started. Okay, the role of diet is 70 to 80% of weight management. Focus on nutrient, that is like nutrient dense food, not just calories. Up till like age 40 you can control your calorie, and we tell you, like, you have to reduce. We also tell our patient, reduce your caloric intake too. But at the same time, that's not the only thing. You also have to eat or choose food that has more nutrients, not just cutting down calories. Okay, so high fiber, like vegetables, whole grains, not refined like flour, not refined flour, like eat whole grain flour. Lean proteins like fish, poultry, and legumes, healthy fats, olive oil, nuts, avocados, reduced processed foods, and added sugar. And I'll show you more why processed food is not good. So the key factors that influence weight loss: several types of foods and additives can interfere with weight loss by affecting your metabolism, hormones, inflammation, and gut health. You may have heard, like, inflammation. It's a big thing. We all hear about inflammation, and some of these diets increase the inflammation. You also feel sore in your body when you eat high inflammatory food that has high inflammatory markers that increase your inflammation in the gut. You also feel sore in the body, you're not flexible. So processed foods, refined foods, and pro-inflammatory diet, gut disrupting food, genetically modified organism, hormones in animal product, these all affect our weight loss, or in general good health. So processed food. What's processed food? I keep telling my patient, don't eat processed food. Like, I give them example like bacon, sausages, things like that. Not to eat that. Anything, pretty much anything in the packet is processed. So foods that have been modified from their natural state, often through methods like cooking, freezing, canning, adding preservatives or additives. So why they are a problem? High in added sugar, unhealthy fat, and sodium, and low in nutrients and fiber. It's like, causes poor satiety. That means you're going to keep eating more. You want to eat more. Promote insulin resistant and fat storage is exactly opposite of that medicine does, right? Like medication increases the insulin release, but these processed food increases insulin resistant. That means, even though your body releases insulin, that insulin doesn't is not as effective. It doesn't do the work. And fat storage, and often hyper palatable. That means you're going to feel like eating more. It makes you like, as versus other other food that has high fiber that makes you feel full, you're not going to eat and you feel good about it, and you don't eat much, you eat little and you're full and you feel good. But with these kind of food, you want to eat more and more. So for example, snack bar, frozen meals, chips, fast food, who do not like them? The fact itself, that itself says that, we all like fast food because it tastes good, it makes you eat more and more, because they're made that way. They put things in it to make you like them, like a lot of salt, a lot of other things that make you feel like eating more. That's what you get when you go out in the restaurants, that even though like you feel like you ate a good food there, but they use a lot of canned stuff, to prepare those meals. They do not use like natural food, and they put a lot of salt because it tastes good when you put a lot of salt. um, what is refined food? Foods that have undergone processing, often involving the removal of the natural component like fiber, bran, and germ, leading to loss of nutrients. So, nutritional impact. Loss of fiber. Refining often removes the bran and germ of the grains, which are rich sources of dietary fiber. So you see, like for example, refine, the flour you eat, bleached flour, and that's refined flour. That has like pretty much nothing. It's like no nutritional value. And nutrient loss. Processing can also lead to loss of vitamins, minerals, and other beneficial compounds. Also, they add a lot of things into it too, like added sugar, unhealthy fat, and other additives, like things made from that kind of wheat flour, like white bread, pasta, pastries, bakery cereals, all of them. That's all made from all the refined food. How many of you eat this? All of us. Pretty much. This is, we think like cereal is healthy, we eat that, right? You get that in the boxes. They put a lot of sugar in it. It tastes good too. You feel good that you're eating good food. So it's really not good. And all this white bread, pasta, as it is, pasta is made of wheat. Wheat has a lot of sugar, and plus it's refined. They use refined flour, and then add other additives in it to make it taste good. So we eat, that's some of your main ingredient of your meals, right? um, and then pro-inflammatory diets. Certain foods can contribute to inflammation in the body. These often include processed food, red and processed meat, refined carbohydrate, sugar sweetened beverages. Okay, so anything like Coke, Pepsi, energy drinks, all of that, and refined carbohydrate, processed meats that you guys, get from the grocery store, processed meat or lunch meats. I don't know much. I don't eat them, so I may be missing out. Um, Bacon, sausages, all of that. Pro-inflammatory food limit, you have to limit and avoid like sugary food, soda, candy, sweetened snacks, refined grains, white bread, white rice, pastries, processed meats, bacon, hot dog, deli meats, fried food, french fries, fried chicken, chips, trans fat like margarine, packed baked goods, excess omega-6 oils like corn oil, soybean oil, vegetable blends, alcohol excessive, especially in combination with poor diet. This is all like pro-inflammatory. It's going to destroy your gut health. Okay. And anti-inflammatory substitute, instead of those, you can substitute these, and that is gut friendly, like leafy greens and berries rich in antioxidant and polyphenols, olive oil, avocados are, it has a good fat, and also it reduces inflammatory markers, and fatty fish, salmon, and it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids and whole grains, and also like millets, quinoa, oats. They're high fiber, and they lower the C-reactive protein. C-reactive protein is one of the inflammatory markers in the body, so that is high in patients who eat a lot of pro-inflammatory food. And also, I mean, why inflammation, and why am I talking that about gut health? Why gut health, and why pro-inflammatory diets are we talking about? Inflammation actually makes you gain weight. If you reduce these diet, your gut health improves, and you know plus you won't gain weight just by avoiding pro-inflammatory diet. You will start losing weight. So, and this, how diet affects your gut microbes and weight. Like, there are trillions of microbes, they live in your digestive system, and they live in the harmony. But when you start eating these bad food, some of them are get lost, and then the bad gut microbes can overgrow. That's when you have all the issues. Like when you take antibiotics, your good antibiotics not only get rid of your infection that you're dealing with, it also gets rid of the normal gut flora. That's why people have diarrhea and all when they take, when they're taking antibiotics. So these bad food, pro-inflammatory food, do the same thing. They replace the good microbe with the bad microbe, and that affects your digestion, your immunity, even mental health. And as I said, your good bacteria will reduce and the bad bacteria grows. Or um, food that support the gut health, like fiber, like fruits, vegetables, legumes, they feed the beneficial bacteria, produces anti-inflammatory short chain fatty acid. So the fiber, like when you eat more, food that has high fiber, like generally, like that comes from the nature, like fruits, vegetables, legumes. It feeds the bacteria that lives in the gut, the good bacteria, and it produces its anti-inflammatory short chain fatty acid, and that helps with increasing your good bacteria. And prebiotics, onion, garlic, bananas, they fuel the good bacteria. Okay. And probiotics like yogurt, kefir is just the liquid form of the yogurt. Okay. It's some cultures they use that. We call it as buttermilk. It's kefir. I don't know what that is. Sauerkraut. You guys use that? Yeah. Okay. And nutritional yeast, I have it here. So this yeast is like Saccharomyces. Again, you have to be careful which which yeast to eat, which, there are some yeasts that are bad, but nutritional yeast has the yeast that is good for you. Okay, that acts like a probiotic. Okay, and also fermented food, like, I don't, is there anything you guys cook that is fermented? Like, I know the pickle, but you don't want too much salt in it, but still it's pickle. Yes, kimchi. Yes, yes. In India, we make, it's like a pancake we make from fermented batter. We use the beans and the rice. We soak them and we grind and let it ferment, and we make this, like a pancake. That is fermented. It's good for gut health. It's recommended to eat 2 to 3 times a week. At least you should eat that is fermented, and improves your gut health. So they act like a probiotics. And whole plant-based food increase microbial diversity. So, I mean, I'm going to talk more about animal-based food and how that affects and why. But plant-based food, because it's natural, it is, has, it helps with the microbial flora. It increases the microbial flora, and also increases the microbial diversity, like different gut flora. Okay, and foods that disrupt the gut health: sugar, added sugar, and promotes harmful bacteria and overgrowth; processed and fried food, low in fiber, and additives, like, it has bad additives, the chemicals that they use, uh, and they harm the good bacteria. So then you lose the good bacteria, and then you can have like poor absorption, you can have diarrhea, your whatever you eat that doesn't get absorbed, and you're not getting good nutrients. Excess alcohol disrupts the gut lining and microbial balance. So the important thing is, why does it matter? Healthy gut improves nutrient absorption, supports immunity, helps regulate weight, may even enhance the mood. It also doesn't allow you to get sick. Your immunity goes up, you don't get sick, you're healthy. You know, when you get sick, you're losing your health. You get deconditioned. It takes a long time to get back in, get back to normal. You have to take antibiotics that messes up your gut. It's like a vicious cycle of badness when you get sick. So if you avoid, eat good food and eat that helps your gut bacteria, that all these, your whole system stays in equilibrium. Okay. And superfoods, like, they're nutrient powerhouses. Like, there are some food like avocado, all the seeds, and they're called superfood because they're rich, they're nutrient dense food that provides high level of vitamins, minerals, antioxidant, and other health promoting compounds. They support metabolism, reduce inflammation, improve overall well-being. Like, top superfoods for weight and gut health is like leafy greens, kale, spinach, have low calorie, rich in fiber and magnesium. So when you have so much fiber, it makes you feel full, and and it also has a lot of vitamins and minerals. So it help it helps with your health. Berries, blueberries, all the berries. Actually, my I tell my diabetes patient, though I don't treat diabetes. When patients say, oh, I'm diabetes, I have so many restrictions, I tell them, if you feel like eating sweets, eat all the berries. Berries do not increase your sugar, and they're like superfood. They have so much nutrients in it. They're anti-inflammatory. So all berries, anyone can eat. I don't think anyone has restriction eating berries, even diabetic patients. Avocados, again, they give healthy fat that support metabolism and satiety. They make you feel good, and feel good. After eating, you're not, it, because sometimes if you eat just the leafy vegetables, you don't feel full. You want to eat more and more. So if you add avocados in it, it fills you and makes you, it fills you, and you don't have that feeling of eating more and more. Chia seeds and flax seeds. You guys know what is chia seed and flax seed? Both of them. Do you know how the flax seed looks? Okay, because I have here. I wanted to show you guys. This is flax seed, and I think you guys, chia seed is pretty common. Everybody knows. This is chia seeds. So they're rich in omega-3 and fiber. They also help them reduce like hair loss also. All the seeds, like, mainly 5 that I know: pumpkin seed, sunflower seed, chia seed, flax seeds, and sesame seeds. So they reduce, even hair loss. They increase your omega-3 and fiber. So try to add them in your diet every day, like in, either in your salad, or you can, I'm sorry, in the salad. Oh, you put it in the soup. Okay. And you can also make cracker out of all these seeds. You can, if you have an air fryer, you can mix all, you can actually soak chia and flax seeds for 30 minutes and add all other seeds in it, and just put it on a pan and air fry them or bake them, and you can put whatever flavor you want in it, and then it comes out like your natural chips, like crackers. You don't have to eat all those other salty crackers. So, and green tea contains, that boost catechins that may boost fat burning. And again, as I said, fermented food helps your gut microbe. Kimchi, kefir, we make things like dosa. Nuts and seeds, all it's very healthy. But the problem is, all my patients eat from the box, that salted nuts. Whatever nutrient it has, it gets destroyed. Now it's processed and has salt. So again, even though you are eating nuts, you may not be getting all the good part of it. It may be in fact harmful to your gut. So get the raw nuts, get raw nuts, lot of my patients like to eat nuts, but then they eat the wrong kind. They don't eat the raw, they don't get the raw nuts and roast them on their own. How many of you roast your own nuts, like get raw nuts and roast? Yeah, nobody. Do you even know raw peanuts are available? You know that, right? Yeah. Where do you get them? You don't know? Yeah, I have it here. I brought them just to show you guys. See? This is raw peanuts. I get them from Indian store, but I don't know where else other people get. Publix has raw nuts, but they're more expensive in American stores. You can get them from Indian store. All this I have is here from Indian store, most of it. Okay, so this, they're, because we use them so much, then we get them in Indian store. This is just raw peanut. Instead of getting that is, you know, getting something like it's processed, salted nuts. We all like to eat nuts. It's good for you also. And what do those taste like? Do they have? I mean, do they have flavor? Or? They don't. They have flavor. Some people eat raw peanuts. You want to try? I can open one for you. No. So then, if you don't like raw, see, I roasted them in the air fryer, and all you put this is in 5-6 minutes in the air fryer. So you don't have to eat the salted nuts that you get from the market. And it is much cheaper. A lot of people say that eating healthy is expensive. No, it's not expensive. It's actually much cheaper. You save a lot of money in a long run. Where's the Indian store? In Orlando. There's not one in the village? Nope, not here. There is one in Gainesville, and there are multiple in Orlando. Orlando, 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 and in Gainesville. I don't know where else it is, but I don't think it's in this area at all. There's none in. There is? Okay, I don't know the Ocala one. Yeah. So if you want to look at it and eat also, I'm okay, as long as you don't have allergy, okay? No EpiPens here. Because this I mean the same thing you can do. You can get raw almonds from Sam's Club, or raw like cashews or anything, walnuts, anything. Don't bring that box nuts. It's expensive and it's not good for you. It doesn't help in weight loss. It makes you gain weight. And it's just takes 5 to 6 minutes to air fry, and you air fry whatever you want for that day. Nothing, like nothing. Yeah, no effort. Just putting in the air fryer, put it in the timer, and I go to sleep. I forget. I get so many calls and constantly I don't even remember. And you don't even have to keep on, stirring it on the pan. Just put them in the air fryer and forget about it. It is peanut. So this is just an example. I want you to understand it tastes good. It's not anything, it's not bad as, it's not compared to what you get in a box. I think this is not bad. Yeah, you do whatever you want with it. Yeah, you want to put olive oil, herbs, whatever you want. You make it, make special out of it. Same thing I was saying. Put all the seeds together. I use flax seeds and I use chia seeds. I soak them for 30 minutes because it gets gooey, right? Because flax seeds and the chia seeds, they release that you know thing that is gooey, and in that you put all other seeds like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, chia seeds, and flax seed, all of that, all 5 seeds, I put them, I mix them. All I have to do is, and I put some, whatever I like spices, so I put, I put spices, very little salt, and whatever else you like, all the herbs you want to add, you can add and mix and put it on a on a baking sheet and bake it for 15 minutes. And sometimes I turn it because the lower part is a little not that crispy. I turn it and bake it again for lesser time, and then you just crack them and keep it in a box. That's your snack for the week. Again, it doesn't take time. It's the oven is cooking it. You're not sitting there and doing that. But and it's quick. It's not that while you're doing your other meals you can do it. How many of you think you can do these two things? All of you, right? All of you use your oven and your air fryer all the time. As long as they're not processed. If they're coming right from the farm, is okay, yes. If they have boiled it in the whatever, the salt water or whatever, it's not, then I don't know the value of that. So anything gets processed, anything in the box is not good. Anything that is, this is not, I mean, even though it's in the bag, it's not processed, it's just the raw peanuts in a bag. Okay, so this is not hard. A lot of people tell me that I don't have time to cook. I'm alone. I don't want to. If I can cook, you guys can cook. I work like a lot, so you guys can cook. And just remember, most of you are retired. If you're retired, it's your main job is to take care of yourself, which is main thing is health. At this point of your life, health is like really the most takes higher priority. So if you can remove this much, if you cannot remove this much time, then I really don't know how you are going to take care of yourself. And cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they're detox and they support the gut, and they have a lot of fiber. And I also mentioned about nutritional yeast. You guys use nutritional yeast? You have, it's good on popcorn. Okay, see, you're giving me more ideas. But popcorn, I don't want to use the one that come in a pocket though. It has salt. Yeah. Yeah, there is. So you can use that in the some people use that in the salad dressing. Yeah, that's new for me too. I have to learn. And in your bread, when you're cooking bread, or even you can put, if you're making that cracker, you can put in that too. It gives a different taste. And if you're a vegan, they use it to make vegan cheese. It is very nutritional, good source of plant-based protein, vitamin D, and fiber. And why include them? Like, they boost nutrient intake without excess calorie. That's an important. There is no calorie in these seeds and all. Like, there is, and obviously nut has calories, but it's a good calorie. Um, and manage, they help manage cravings and improve digestion. So especially nuts, like, they really help you. Like, when I have a busy day and I don't have time to eat, this is what I keep munching. It helps to control your cravings, and I'm not hungry, and I can continue working without feeling hungry, and then I don't go for a chocolate or a snack bar or something like that. So, and reduces oxidative stress and inflammation, supporting long-term health and weight control. Um, and again, another important thing is these. If you guys know, this is all different kind of millets. Even I don't use all of this, but I use most of these. So wheat that you use, we use, it's in everything, bread, pasta. Wheat has gluten, and it's pro-inflammatory. That's why people who have gluten allergy, that they have these issues. Even for people who do not have gluten allergy, wheat increases inflammation and does not help in reducing weight. So a lot of people have taken that out of their diet. I don't eat wheat. That's how I lost weight. Getting rid of all the wheat from my diet, I was able to lose 10-15 pounds. It was very hard for me to get rid of that, and then I got rid of wheat, and it was easy. Initially, I didn't know how I'm going to feel like eating bread, eating all the things, but now I don't crave. I have replaced it with, I do eat rice. I've replaced and eat a lot of beans and legumes and a lot of vegetables. If I take just a little bit of rice and I put a lot of vegetables on it, so it still has a good amount, so I don't feel like I'm eating less. Because a lot of people say, okay, then how can you just feel full with vegetables? Yeah, you can. If you eat a lot of vegetables and beans and all, it has a lot of fiber, you do feel full. And I do take little rice. I'm not telling you to get rid of whole carb. No, I'm not. Just trying to replace other things. Also, I do like, carb, so but I've replaced eating potatoes with sweet potato. Sweet potato has low glycemic index versus regular potato. It does not increase your sugar very quickly. And it also gives you that, sweet, the satisfaction of eating sweet. And you don't feel like craving for sweets so much. So sweet potatoes and replacing oats, you can, if you eat oats, don't eat cereal and all. Oats have low glycemic index. It does not raise your sugar as quickly. So wherever I need to eat in in my culture, we use rice in a lot of things. So I started using more oat flour and all. I just make the flour and I add oats more than I reduce the, rice in it. So there is a lot of things you can do to substitute and still enjoy your meals. Okay, so instead of wheat and white rice, you can use millets that has high fiber and low GI, it's a lower GI alternative in breads and stir fries, curries, and rice balls. So you can switch that. So there are some of these, like, all you have to do is just like how you guys use quinoa. Quinoa pretty much takes the flavor of whatever you cook into. The same thing, there are so many different kind of millets. You can come and take a look once, when you want. So it's same like quinoa. You soak them and cook them like rice. and add them in any curry or gravy or in your salad. So you don't, that helps, you can replace rice and wheat with millets. So some of the millet flour, like this is, there is one millet, it's called bhajra and jawar. The flour of that I use instead of wheat flour. And you guys can, you guys bake a lot, so instead of putting refined flour, you can use almond flour or millet flour or flax seeds. You get flaxseed powder also, flour also. You can replace that and use it. So you still feel like eating, you're eating bread and not feel like, you're changed, your diet. You don't, your cravings go away. You don't feel like, oh, I don't, you don't feel like, I don't want to do this diet anymore. Okay, and couscous. How many guys use couscous? You guys use couscous? It's made from wheat. Okay, it's made from wheat. So a lot of people use that. What, like, do you use that in your breakfast? Oh, okay, okay. So you can, instead of that, you can replace quinoa, and it has a similar texture. And cereal, instead of eating breakfast cereal, cook oats. Oats are good. You can put berries in it, and don't put so much brown sugar. You can put fruits, and you can put apple and cook while you're cooking the oats, and it gives that taste. And also you can put dry grapes, raisins, and you can also add like nuts and cinnamons and other things. Like you can add ginger. I don't know if you guys use dry ginger powder. That has a good taste too. And you can cook your oats like that. Again, cooking oats doesn't take long time. I know, like, taking the cereal out of the box and eating is faster, but oats still doesn't take, it takes 10 minutes. And for porridge, like, finger millets, ragi, it's actually has very high, this is called finger millet. You get flour of this, I don't have a flour of this. This is the finger millet. This is very high in calcium. In India, we give the flour of this, we make a porridge from the flour of this, and we feed the babies. It has very high in calcium. So for women, it's really good. So you could use the flour of this and even make your bread from it. So it takes some time to understand all this and see how to incorporate. My mom makes all these millets, most of these millets, and she makes the bread out of it very easily. She's used to it. She makes it with her hand because they don't have gluten in it. It's hard to roll. We make flatbread, so it's hard to roll on the like, because I'm not used to doing in my hand. It's hard, hard. Like, suddenly started doing all those things. It's hard. So I did some cheating. I put flaxseed powder in the millet powder, because flaxseed is like gooey, it has stickiness to it. So I put that in this millet flour to get that, then I could roll. I don't have to do it in my hand with my hands. I'm not good at it. So you can come up with your own ways. You all are good. You all cook. You have your own great ideas. So that helps. And we make flatbread. So you can also bake. You can use like you can bake the bread that like regularly how you do with the wheat flour. You can use millet flour. So the reason why I'm asking you to replace wheat is it's inflammatory. It can be inflammatory. It can not help you in reducing weight. Okay. So nuts, healthy facts about nuts. Almonds are high in vitamin E and calcium, great for snacking and baking. Again, do not eat almonds from the box that you get. like salted almonds or processed almonds. Just get the raw almonds from Sam's Club or any big, or BJ's or anything. You'll get, they're pretty good price. If you like, you can air fry them. Whatever, you want to put some flavors to it, you can do it on your own, but don't get the one that are in the boxes. All the new nutritional factors go away when you get them from the boxes. Okay. And walnuts, they're rich in omega-3, good for brain and heart health. Pistachios. Pistachios, anybody has found unsalted pistachio in this area? They come only during Christmas, right? Yeah. No, but without salt. I have never found. I have tried so hard to find them. I could not get. Yeah, I think you can order online, but okay, I did not find in Sam's. So it's pistachio is so good for you, but I just can't find them. When I went to India last time, I got from there. They're actually very expensive also, unsalted. That's the problem because everything is salted everywhere you go. So that's the problem. But again, if you can find unsalted, like just a raw pistachio, you can use that. That's good. Cashews, it has a creamy texture and good for plant-based sauces and snacks. You can, a lot of vegan diets, they use that a lot. And Brazil nut, excellent source of selenium. Just 1 to 2 nuts per day meets daily needs. So again, other thing about nuts is like people who do not want to eat, like, have dairy milk, like, cow's milk and all. You don't want to have. You can use nuts to make your milk, or you can, you're getting them also on in the store, like almond milk, cashew milk, but you can make your own milk, and it's much cheaper. You're getting those machines now. They make, all you have to do is put the nuts and water and some little other things, and you get nut milk. So if you are somebody, do not tolerate the milk and or animal products, so you can use almond, all the nuts to make the milk also. And easy substitute and uses, like it's a snack alternative, like swap chips and candy for a handful of mixed nuts. That would be a better alternative. Salad topper, instead of using croutons, you can put nuts. And smoothie, you can add that in the smoothie and give it that good texture. And dairy free base, as I mentioned, you can use that as a, cashews are used for cheese and creamy sauces. And baking, you use, you all use that nuts in the baking. You can also use almond flour and replace the regular flour. Okay, now we are going to go and talk genetically modified organisms. This is another big factor. A lot of, I myself do not know much about GMOs. GMO is basically, you know any organism, plant, animal, or microorganisms whose DNA has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. It's done basically to have better crop. Like in, we used to have, people didn't use we didn't have enough grains or food for all the population, so they wanted to grow in large quantity. We had what we call green revolution. Then they used all these techniques to make large quantities of food, especially wheat, rice. And then they did a lot of changes in this genetically engineered technique, used genetically engineering technique to change them so they are resistant with, all these, the, like, as a pesticides also, and also to prevent any infestation in the fields. So they kept doing that to have better crops. And also in many other places, I'm, like, also see that, animal feeds and and meats and dairy products. The problem with GMO is like a lot of it is we still don't know how it is going to affect. Some of the countries have banned some of the GMO product like uh, corn oil. Um, Emerging research raises concern about gut microbes disruption from the repeated exposure of the GMO related chemicals. And some GMOs may increase inflammation, interfere with digestion, and alter nutrient absorption, all of which can impact weight management. So try to avoid any product that has GMO. Again, I myself do not know much about this, but it can cause a lot of health issues in future. So again, by trying to eat some things like millets or ancient grains, you're going to avoid some of these GMO, because these grains are, they have not altered them, because there is not a huge demand for some of these millets and some of these ancient grains. So that's how you can avoid the GMO products. And also by choosing organic or non-GMO verified products, like whenever it is possible. Again, I don't know much in this area. It's a very vast area, and studies are still going on. But I know that in Europe some of the GMO products are banned, but we are still consuming them here. All I know that. So something to think about. So okay, hormones in the animal product. So this is the other reason I don't like any animal product. This is one of the main reasons. So natural and added hormones increase the growth of the livestock and increase milk production. Yeah, obviously some hormones are there in animals, naturally, their estrogen, there's other growth hormones and all. And that helps to increase the size of the livestock and increase the milk production. But then some of the hormones are given to increase the production. So why do we need to know? Because growth hormones used in beef and dairy may affect the endocrine function, or our endocrine function. And estrogen and androgen like compounds may influence fat storage and can affect your metabolism. You can increase, that's how you could increase your weight, by consuming these animal products that had hormone influence or were given extra hormones. And even the animal itself has its own hormones, even that would affect us. And it's more concern in the sensitive group, like hormonal imbalances and children. And steroid hormones can be counted as increased risk factor for various cancers in humans, breast cancer, or any cancer that is influenced by the hormones. So that is the reason why I don't like animal products. I'm trying to stay away from them. And the way these animal products are manufactured is also concerning. So safer options are, look for labels that's hormone free, organic, so all these. And then these options reduce exposure to synthetic hormones and support natural animal rearing practices. For dairy, look for brands that specify no recombinant bovine growth hormones. So they're also, these are allowed. These growth hormones can be given. That's legal in this country, but they still can affect us, our health. So we should try to avoid all the animal product if possible.